This is my teaching journal. This is different from, I have my writing journal, but this is my teaching journal. This is the same place where we put our charts that we made the other day. And so today we're going to talk about realistic fiction and specifically about our story, The Pet Show. The Pet Show. All right. So I have written right here, story arc. Story arc. And a story arc is, this is what an arc is. I'm going to draw one for you. Just like this. And it follows the path of a story. Okay. So fiction stories, realistic fiction stories start out right here. Okay. And they kind of start out easy, and usually things are nice in the beginning. There's a good plan. And then somewhere as we get up here to the top, which is called the climax, this is like the problem space. Okay. Or the really exciting space, or the part where something terrible happens or something incredible happens. And then the story starts to resolve itself and come to a conclusion. So over here, this would be the solution, sometimes called the resolution, depending on what's happening in the story. So if we want to think about the story we just read, The Pet Show, okay, at the beginning of our story, The Pet Show, I'm going to use this sticky note. Archie was looking for a pet to enter the pet show. Right? True? That's how our story started off. So I'm going to put this right here at the beginning. Okay. Now, right here on the top, I'm going to put like the big whoa moment that happened here. Okay. Which was that when Archie couldn't find a pet to go in the pet show, the pet that he was looking for, that cat, remember, showed up with the old woman, and the old woman got Archie's prize. Remember when the old woman showed up right there? And she got a blue ribbon prize because she showed up with the cat. So that's going to be the problem. So the cat showed up with the old woman, and she won the prize. Uh-oh, that was a shocking moment. So that's going to go up here, right here. Okay. But the story was able to resolve itself, because Archie won a prize. Does anyone remember the prize he won for his germ? Azarian remembers. What prize did he win?
A blue ribbon.
For what?
A blue ribbon.
Do you
A blue
remember?
ribbon.
He won a blue ribbon, but for what?
For the quietest germ.
For the quietest pet. Yep. He won a blue ribbon for the quietest pet. Okay. So if I was going to go back in and tell my story, I could summarize my story by saying Archie was looking for a pet to enter the pet show. The cat showed up with the old woman and she won the prize. Archie won a prize for his germ for the quietest pet. I could even add a couple more to fill in some of the gaps in my story. For here, I could say Archie searched and searched for the cat to bring to the pet show. And then over here, I could add another one to fill in the gaps that said, Archie was creative and brought a germ at the last minute. Okay, so now that I filled in the gaps, if I look at my story, Archie was looking for a pet to enter the pet show. Archie searched and searched for the cat to bring to the pet show. The cat showed up with the old woman and she won the prize. Archie was creative and brought a germ at the last minute. Archie won a prize for his germ for the quietest pet. So do you see how our story fits onto the story arc? From the beginning to the most important part of the story, the big deal of the story, all the way to the resolution, okay? All of the stories that we write, our realistic fiction stories, should fit on this story arch, So today, we are going to be looking in our journals. We're going to be working in our journals. That's why I asked you to take out your journal this morning. And inside our journals, we're going to try to plan our own story using a story arch. All right, so what I want you to do is open your journal to the first blank page. And it's really up to you how you want to do this. I like a lot of space. So you have two options. I'm going to show you your two options. You can take your journal and turn it sideways like this. Let me turn my page so that it's easier to see. You can take your journal and turn it sideways like this. Okay, and you can draw your story arch onto one page, and that's fine. But if you're like me and you want to use more space, you like more space, I'm going to use mine this way. And I'm going to use 2 whole pages. And I'm going to go up and I'm going to come back down across 2 pages. So right now, I want you to draw your story arch. You can use it on 1 page or 2. Okay. And then I want you to hold it up and I want you to show me. And I'm going to write the name story arc right here at the top. I just want you to draw it in your journal on 1 page or 2 and then hold it up to show me. Hold it up to show me. All right, I see Caleb and Ethan. Sydney's got hers done. Fernando has his done. Mateo, excellent. Alberto has his done. He chose to do his on 2 pages like me. Mateo did 1. Emily's got hers. Joshua has his. There's Jalen's. Kalini has hers. London's is coming up. Abdil has his. Blossom's got hers. Excellent. Here comes Carlos. Great work. Jade and JL, Elijah, where are your story arcs? There's Jade's. All right, there's Elijah's. All right, we're going to go ahead and get started. Oh, there's Soraya's. Excellent. Excellent. Okay, so we are going to be working on creating our own story today. And we're going to start out today by writing a true story. Okay? We're going to start out today by writing a true story. So I'm going to ask you to think of something that happened to you, a time you had trouble, a time when things were hard, a time when something amazing happened. And I want you to think of that thing right now. Okay, I'm going to think of mine too. So we all have our hands down. We're all thinking. Think of something that happened to you, something big. It could be good, it could be bad. Think of something big that happened to you. I think I'm going to write about the day that the internet went out and I had to go teach in my car. Because if I think about that story and I think about fitting it on the arc, I think I could talk about how I got to work and started getting ready for class. I realized that the internet wasn't working, but I was hoping it would be fixed. My students started joining my meeting, but I couldn't talk to them because there was no internet, and I thought that our lesson was going to be ruined. I decided to run out to my car. We read a book in my car, and then afterwards the internet came back on and everything was great. Does that fit on my story arc? Show me thumbs up, thumbs down. Does that fit as something that has like a big moment and then it gets resolved at the end? Yeah, it does. So that's going to be able to be something that I put on my arc. And so you guys can do this in two ways. If you have sticky notes, you can use sticky notes in your journal to put them on your arc. Okay. But if you don't have sticky notes, and I'm going to pretend right now that I don't have sticky notes. Okay. Because I know some of you won't have sticky notes. You can write on your arc. You're writing a true story about something that happened to you. So if I get started right now and I start writing, I think it was Thursday. So I'm just going to write, my marker's dying. One Thursday morning, I got to school ready to teach. Okay. As I turned on my computer, I realized the internet was out. I worked with my teacher friends to fix it, but it still wouldn't work. Now I'm at the top, so this is going to be my big moment here. And something I like to say in a big moment, I love to say, all of a sudden, because that's like, whoa, I know something incredible is about to happen. So here at the top, I'm going to say, all of a sudden, my students were logging on and I couldn't teach them. And definitely an exclamation mark. That's a problem. I made a quick decision. to run out and teach from my car. We read where the wild things are. When I came back in, the internet was fixed. Whew. Okay, I got it. All right. So we have our full story arc. One Thursday morning, I got to school ready to teach. As I turned on my computer, I realized the internet was out. I worked with my teacher friends to fix it, but it still wouldn't work. All of a sudden, my students were logging on and I couldn't teach them. I made a quick decision to run out and teach from my car. We read Where the Wild Things Are. When I came back, the internet was fixed. Okay, so I want you, we're going to spend our last 10 minutes of class trying to write our own stories on our story arc.